Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball, game7baseball.com. Check it out. Make sure you go to game7baseball.com. Get yourself registered. It's going to be a fun season. Today, we have a special guest. We are working our coaches' previews, and I'm bringing in on the Prime Sports Midwest call link Bill Bivins from Noster, Missouri, Noster High School, home of the Panthers. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Very welcome. Glad to be here.
We met at the coaches clinic, and I had followed some of the players that you've had over the last couple of years. And the terrible thing is I'm going to say Josh's first name, but that gray hair is not fooling anybody, buddy. So, Josh, I'm sorry I forgot your last name. It's terrible, isn't it? Hagel. There it is. Golly. I met, and this is kind of how I got to know Noster a little bit, is I saw Josh playing for Sedalia at the state championships 2 years ago for American Legion Baseball, and the kid was just tearing it up everywhere.
Yeah,
and I said,
Josh, an athlete.
I got to know where this kid plays high school baseball.
Well, Josh is great. He's a great athlete, great kid.
It was his last year, correct?
Correct, yeah. He graduated last year, and he moved over. He's playing for State Fair right now. Actually, he just started his first game yesterday. So.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's doing well.
Hey, that's pretty good stuff. They got some pretty good athletes over there at State Fair.
Yeah, they do. Coach Kendall's got a great team.
Is he pitching, or is he's pitching?
Yeah, P.O., yeah.
That doesn't surprise me, because he has a big-time arm, doesn't he?
Oh, he broke our school record last year with 95 strikeouts. So he had a great year.
Wow, that's impressive. So, now it's time to replace all that production, right?
Yes, that's why I'm scratching my head today.
Just looking last year, you guys were 18-7. What conference do you play in, Coach?
We play in M.R.V.C. East, Missouri River Valley Conference, East Side. We got Higginsville, which is Lafayette County, Holden, Kensington, and Carrollton, and Noster.
So we missed one of those. Right before Carrollton, who'd you mention?
Richmond.
Okay.
In Lexington. Yep.
Are most of these Class 4 schools, or is it a mix?
It's a mix. The only Class 4 is us in Richmond, and the rest are usually Class 3.
Class 3. Is the competition pretty good, even though within the conference?
Yeah, our conference is tough. And I say any given year, any one of us can win it. But the last several years, it's been Higginsville, Holden. And Carrollton was down 2 years ago. Last year, they were the spoilers, and they'll be real good this year.
I've seen the Carrollton name, in they're Class 3, right?
Correct.
And I've seen their name up there in Class 3 playoffs and whatnot for the last few years.
Yeah, they're very good.
Yeah.
Well coached.
I'm sorry. This is a good opportunity for us. When I bring a gentleman like yourself on, I hope you don't mind me probing a little bit about all the rest of it going on around you.
Not at all. Ask away.
Because we want to get to know these schools, and especially when you're playing, that's the difficulty sometimes. So you, in a completely different district than what you're playing in conference, is that difficult for you, or do you feel like you get enough competition?
No, the competition is there. What's difficult is when it comes time to seeding, and they look at our record, and all the other class fours are playing class 4 and 5 schools, and they look at me and say, "Okay, you won 18 games, but you beat class 3 schools," so that can be tough sometimes. But we're making a change this year. That's we got moved up actually. We used to be class 3. And in 2021, they moved us up to class 4. We were over the threshold of like 23 students, so we were a very small class 4. Um,
Right.
so at the end of the year, we roll into districts. Our schedule really didn't set us up for success, and I've recognized that. So this year I've changed. We got 28 games, and we've added teams like Oak Grove, Harrisonville, Marshall's coming down to our tournament. We got into the Boonville Woodback tournament, so our strength of schedule is a lot tougher this year than what it has been ever.
So that means you're not really looking at so much the wins and losses, but I mean, of course you play to win. I get that, but you're looking at the competitiveness of your schedule.
Absolutely. That's what's going to make us better. And I recognized that last year. So when we got moved up to class 4 our first year, go to districts, we got bumped out first round. Second year, we won a game and got into the semifinal, got bumped. And last year we made it to the championship game and ended up losing to a very great team in Nevada. But I saw that as the writing on the wall. I need to do something with our schedule during regular season to set us up for success in district because that's when it matters. I don't care if we win 20 games. If we win 13 and we're a better team going into districts, that's what I care about.
Talk to us then about everybody at the high school level when you're talking about getting to that next level of competition, having to compete at that level. It's about pitching.
100%.
Where do you start, and what is that? And I'm going to pull up a name here. I believe Trent Gallagher. Am I
Trent
correct?
Gallagher, yeah, correct. Yep.
Starting there, where is your depth, and do you think you'll be able to compete on the mound, especially after losing like a Josh Hagel?
Yeah, see, I lost Josh Hagel and Trey Payne. They were my 1 and 2 last year, and Gallagher was in that mix. So I had a three rotation crew. So Gallagher will be my number 1 this year.
Is he now this young man? He's committed to Missouri Western.
Yes,
So
he did. Yep.
yeah, so he evidently has some stuff. Can you talk about Trent a little bit and what you're looking for from him?
Yeah, Trent's a great since his freshman year. He's come into this program and has been a leader from the get go. He is there for other players. It's not about him, but he has one of the best work ethics I've seen. He takes care of his body. He's obviously a great student. But he's committed to baseball. That's all he plays. He stopped playing football and other sports, and he's committed to baseball and signed with Missouri Western, last fall. He commands the game. He's very smart. And he's deliberate. He'll hit 90. He'll sit about 88, 89. He can get up to 92, but he'll be 90. He's got very good off speed, and he's smart.
You've got so talk to us about where you're going to get your depth. Do you have some pieces, some kids coming up, and who are they?
Yeah, so one of them. So like I said, Trent will be my number 1. I got a junior, Sam Rosine. He's my center fielder, and we've been developing him as a pitcher. He come in for us last year a few times in relief, and he'll be getting our starts this year. He'll be my number 2. And then I got a freshman. His name's Cade Cantrell. He reminds me so much of Trent Gallagher when he was a freshman. Just his work ethic and the way he comes in. Into we've had some winter workouts here the last 6 7 weeks, and he's made a statement already. I upperclassmen looking at this kid like, wow, he's the next leader of this this team, and they're nice. See something in him, and he's hitting right about 83 right now, throwing. Great off speed. We just need to teach him, what Hagel had. Hagel had presence and leadership and experience. That's where I got to grow Cade, but he'll get there. He's very smart. His baseball IQ is very high.
Coach, when you're talking about pitchers, what number works for you with your depth? What do you look for that way?
I like to have typically I usually have three starters. That's my go-to guys, and then I'll have three or four that'll be my relief. I've got others that can pitch, but typically I can get away with three starters. They'll get me into the sixth inning, and then I'll come in and throw another guy for an inning. Sometimes they get in trouble early, and I got to adjust, and that's every coach has to do that. So depends on the day.
Yeah, yeah. Who are guys you're looking at as far as coming out of the pen then?
I got Wyatt Brand. He's a senior, and this is going to be a good year for Wyatt. He's been called in several times over the past few years. We had supposed to graduate last year, and Wyatt's going to be a big part of this team this year. He's been a part. He's come off the bench in past years, but he's going to be. He'll probably be my number one reliever. I had another junior, Coleman Jones, but I just got bad news on him. He got hurt last fall ball, and I just got bad news. His shoulder needs surgery, so I just lost him, and he was another guy that I was going to rely on this year. But I've got some other freshmen that are here, and I got a junior catch or a sophomore catcher, Garrett Eames. He can come out. He can throw in relief, and I got a backup catcher that'll take his spot when we need him.
So with the pitching in place, you got your starters, you got your guys coming out of the pen. Looking forward to seeing what Wyatt Brand does for you there. And I know you talked about Sam Rosine. Let's talk about defensively. Who are the guys? I always look at defense. You start at your catcher. You got your middle infield, your center fielders. Who are the guys that you're looking at to solidify those positions, Coach?
Yeah, I got Garrett Eames. He's a sophomore. He will be my starting catcher. He is very good. He learned a lot last year from Trey Payne, and moved on. Going up the middle, I lost Hagel at short or second base. I got Mason Eames. He's a freshman that's coming in, and right now, preseason, he looks to be the contender to fill that hole. Um, Trent Gallagher obviously will be my starting shortstop when he pitches. Kay Cantrell will fill that hole, and then center field, Sam Rosine. He'll take the starting position there, and then when he pitches, I'll put Trent Gallagher or Kate Cantrell can go out there. Mason Eames, any one of my middle infielders can go out there and play center field. First base, I got Oliver Deffenbaugh. He's a junior, very solid defensively. Got a big stick. He'll fill that. He'll fill that role, and then Wyatt Brand will slide in to the third base side. And when I have him pitch, I'll slide either Trent or Kate over to fill that when Wyatt pitches. In left field, I got Betcho. He's a senior coming back. First time playing with us last year. He just moved here from California. Played a good role. Started most of our games, but he will be the starter in left field this year and have a good year.
We follow. He follows us, and we follow Oliver Deffenbaugh. So I've seen some videos of him. Yeah, he's swinging the bat, getting himself going there. That he looks pretty good.
Yeah, he looks good. And his younger brother's a freshman this year, Colt. I'm looking forward to getting him on the field and developing him, to take his brother's spot when he graduates.
You have a pretty young team, Coach. So it looks like to me. So coming out of that, you had some guys with some good experience. What is going to be the key for you guys this year with all this young talent you got?
Yeah, like I said, the first thing I do is continue building our program as a Class 4. I got to get these boys ready to play Class 4 baseball. The two other things I'm concentrating on is team culture. I need them to know what their role is because it's going to be plug and play. I don't have any set one person is going to play one position. So I need them to know what their role is and be ready to go when they're called upon. A lot of these guys, they play either travel ball or fall ball or something, and typically they'll play a position and they come into high school thinking that's going to be their position. And it's a little different in high school. So that team culture, I got to set that up front. And that's what my leaders will take care of that. Gallagher and Feccio and Rosine, they'll help me foster the team culture here. And then the other part is the team mentality. Young guys tend to get frustrated easy. I preach short-term memory. Baseball is a game of failure. You're going to fail 7 out of 10 times, and you're still going to go to the Hall of Fame. But you gotta have short-term memory and have positive affirmations. If you miss a ball, I know you didn't mean to miss it. Get that out of your head. Clear your head. Think about something positive, and let's go on. Get to the next at bat. Get to the next play. So that's my goal this year with this young team.
Talk to us. Yeah, I love the building culture. I think that's so relevant across the board, no matter what you're trying. If you're and you use the term program, we building a program. Talk to us about the youth side. It's a small town. You know, things are different in places and how you do. How are you pulling kids from the community at those elementary, middle school ages, and what's that process there for you guys?
Yeah, we got a youth program here, National Youth Sports Association. They have a very good core structure. They use our practice fields, but a lot of the boys actually go play travel ball, and, and there are some local teams. Sedalia, there's very good local teams over there. Warrensburg, um, we got a junior legion now in Warrensburg. This year they'll have a senior legion. So the boys coming up are playing competitive travel ball. Brad Groupie, I don't know if you know Brad over in Sedalia. He puts together a very good competitive league in the summer. So we got some boys that go over there and play that. And then my high school team in the off season, I'm pushing them all towards Legion right now.
You got some good Legion programs around it, and I don't know, because you mentioned Warrensburg, Matt Morgan over there. He's got that junior team that's now going to be a senior team. They won the state championship last year. We were there, watched that game, and saw those guys. That's a good baseball team. Is Deffenbaugh? I think Deffenbaugh's on that Warrensburg team,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Deffenbaugh, Cohen Jones, and Sam Rosine were all on that last year.
Yeah, that's a solid baseball team. Um, Sedalia, I know Josh played for. Do you have guys coming over and playing? Because that's I know Connor Spinagle over there. He runs that program, does a very good job with that Legion program over there.
I know Connor very well. He played ball with my son, so I got to know him and his parents very well. Sedalia Legion is a very good Legion, and I would push my guys that way. But now Warrensburg has one. They're the closest one, so we have to push them towards Warrensburg. And if they don't make the team there, they can get signed off and go play in Sedalia. But that's where most of my players have played before, Sedalia. But now with the Mule Club Legion over in Warrensburg, I got a lot of players. I probably got 4 or 5 of my freshmen playing on their junior Legion this year. So that's the route I'm going this year.
Yeah, we've got a shameless plug here because we work with American Legion Baseball quite a bit. And we've got, we're actually, Youth Baseball Midwest is hosting the Centennial Games. We're doing 3 Wednesdays in June, and the Mule Club's coming to play. I think it's the first Wednesday on the 11th at Warrenton Athletic Association, and we're selling. It's 100 years of Legion baseball this year.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. It's a lot of good baseball, man, and that's great because I think those two, especially those two guys. I know Connor; he's a baseball dude, and I know Matt Morgan over there is trying to really take that Warrensburg and continue to grow that program. So I love to hear that because there needs to be that next space for those kids after high school to continue to develop, and you got to have guys that you can trust. Hey, here's this kid, and we want him to continue to develop as a baseball player, right?
Yeah, and I'm pushing them that way. I'm not gonna go against travel ball and comp ball,
Sure.
but the price for that, you're gonna get the same quality baseball doing Legion at a third of the cost. And once I tell parents that, they're like, "Hey, I'm going to Legion."
There you go. Simple as that gets, right?
Hmm.
Coach, offensively, what are you looking at here? I know we talked about Deffenbaugh. I know that kid. I've seen him. He's swinging the bat very well. Talk to us about what you got offensively and how are you going to score runs?
Right now, like I said, you identify our team's pretty young, but I do have some leaders. So I got the two seniors or three seniors. Um, Gallagher will be in my 1 or 2 hole. He's got a very good bat. He'll put the ball in play, and he's very smart on the bases. Um, I got Wyatt Brand is very good at bat. He can move runners over. Jason Feccio is senior, my left fielder. He's got a good at bat, and he has speed, so he can run. So if my key is right now is getting those leadoff guys on, and then moving them around, and we got to have great at bats, and that's one thing we've been preaching. Got to have a 2-strike approach, and some of these young guys are watching these upperclassmen do what we've been doing this last 6 weeks. We'll get them in the cage. We've been doing live bullpens, live pitching, and calling balls and strikes. And hey, you're out. You watch. Don't do that next time. And they're learning. They're learning trial by error, but they're learning. And I'm very excited. I think once we get out on the field next week, it'll be a different dynamic, and I'll be on the field, and then we can go from there. But I think we're going to score some runs. I set a goal for the team. I'd like to have 7 runs a game. Pretty high expectation, but I think it's very achievable.
That is a high expectation. Wow. That's a lot of runs. I mean, you score 7 runs a game, you're going to win a lot of games.
That's fact, and that's our goal.
I want.
Now we'll get into games with Holden just to give you a tidbit about our conference. They beat us 1-0 4 games in a row the last 3 years, and last year was the first time we beat them. We beat them twice. It was the first time we've won conference in school history. We went 10-0 and beat each of the teams twice, but typically we're in dogfights with those guys. They're 1-run games.
Man, yeah, your district, it's not easy. District 12, you have Harrisonville, Clinton, of course, Nevada. And Nevada's, as much as for probably the past, going back to 21 when we were really started watching the state championships and we started looking at the lower classes, Nevada's been a problem for most people, correct?
They're very good. They're very well coached. They're disciplined at bat, and they've always got pitching, and that's the difference.
I'm looking at your schedule for 24, 25. Starting out, you have your Panther Classic. Is that something you've done? How many years have you done your tournament, Coach?
This will be my 12th year coaching here, and this is my 4th as a coach, and we've done it every year. I want to say it started about 2 years before I started coaching here. So it's been a while.
And you got Holden, Carrollton, Richmond, Lafayette County, and Lexington What does this do for you here as far as when is this all at your house?
Well, that's our conference. We don't have them in our Panther Classic. These
Oh,
these
okay.
are all typically non-conference teams. Like Marshall's coming down this year. Pleasant Hill comes over. Um, Clinton will come up. Um, let's see who else. Clinton, Marshall, Crest Ridge will come over. Northwest Hughesville. So we get anywhere. We usually try to get two class twos, two class threes, and two class fours and two class fives in it. So
Oh, two class fives. Who do you have coming over class five? Do you remember?
this year, any I'm trying to get Smith Cotton. They're class six, but I'm trying to get Smith Cotton added to ours, or I want to go to their house. So that's our struggle. Is getting the bigger schools to come in here. Right now, it's mainly class fours.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Coach Zimmerman, we did get a chance to talk to him, so maybe he will acquiesce and come
Yep.
on over.
Yeah, I
You
know. I
know,
know.
I'm looking at your schedule, and like you said, you're not shying away. Eldon is a tough out. California, I had both of those teams in my top 20 at the end of the year last year. Say Oak Grove, that's a solid. You're not walking, and then the Boonville Woodbat tournament. Who are teams that are going to be in that one?
I believe it's Centralia, Boonville, Marshall, us, and there's two others that I'm not really sure yet. I just wanted to get into that as an added game. Added three. Actually, we'll get three games out. We'll play Friday night and two on Saturday. And they typically they have class four teams in there, and that was my goal, get some class four action.
I think it's interesting, Coach. A class four school. How many kids do you normally have come out, and do you keep all of them? And what's the total amount of kids that you usually have in your program?
And it varies. Typically, we'll get about 30 to 35 that come out. I keep 25. Last year, we did an experiment. We had 30. I want to say it was 36 that came out. So we added a C team, and it didn't go very well because some of the boys dropped out, and I end up piecemealing the C team together with some of the JV guys. So we're not going to do that this year. So I usually keep 25, and that'll be my varsity and my JV roster.
Very good. You had your 18-7. You had played 25 games last year. You said you got 28 on the schedule. That's a lot of baseball games for a Class 4 school, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm excited. I think it'll be a challenge, but I think it's just going to make us better in the end when we get ready to go to district.
I agree. I mean, hey, that's the way it works, right? You put yourself in those positions. I think when you see teams that have challenged themselves throughout the year, usually rise to that occasion. I agree.
Yeah, and I think it's going to make us better in the fact that we're going to struggle at some point in the season, and there's going to be other teammates that are going to have to step up. I'm going to call on guys that the pitch that they probably aren't expecting to come in to pitch during that game. But that's just going to make them grow. It's going to make them better and get rid of that anxiety when we go into big games.
There you go. I got to tell this story too, folks. I want to give a shout out to Coach here. When we were at the clinic, we're in the vendor room, and I met him for the first time, and we had some of the hats out on the table there at the clinic like we do here, and he's like, "Oh man, I got to get you a hat," and he's like, "Well, shoot," and he just pulled the hat off his head, and as you can see, we got it right there, sitting right out front for Coach there. So that's the kind of guy he is. Pulled the hat right off his head and stuck it on the table for us. So I appreciate that, Coach.
I'm glad you're presenting it out. Yeah, colors. There's only you, me, and my one of my assistants have it. So there's only three hats been given out so far.
I love that. That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.
Monday there'll be 25 others because that's when tryouts.
That's all right. That's all right. We appreciate it very much. And, we're looking forward to the season. We're going to be revealing our Class 4's top 20. You never know. You might be in it, Coach.
Hey, we'll give it the best shot.
There you go.
Long season. I want to see where we're at the end.
That's the goal, right? It isn't the preseason. It's where you finish.
I preach to my boys. It's not how we play today. It's how we play in May.
Very good. Folks, Coach Bill Bivins, Noster head coach, we appreciate you taking the time today, Coach, and giving us a look at your team and a little bit of the conference around there. We appreciate it greatly.
Thanks for getting us on the air. And covering us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're hoping maybe in the future we get over and maybe you never know. Maybe we come over and live stream a couple of games in that tournament of yours next year.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Hey, if you like what we're doing, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that dinger next to it. It's not a home run, but it does get you notifications for upcoming episodes just like this. And all you baseball junkies, we appreciate it. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. Hitters, Coach, give the hitters some advice.
Hey, have a good approach. Don't miss the fastball. Barrel it up.
There you go. That's good advice right there. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, hey, hey.